Hey there, and welcome to Senior Wisdom Life, your trusted channel for real, practical health advice tailored for seniors who want to stay sharp, strong, and independent. Let me ask you this. Have you always believed that eating more fruit automatically means better health? Most of us have. It's what we were taught growing up. But what if I told you that some of the fruits you're eating, maybe even every single day, could be quietly raising your blood sugar, damaging your memory, and increasing your risk for heart disease? Even more shocking, these fruits are often marketed as natural, fat-free, or even superfoods. Sounds unbelievable, right? But after more than 40 years working closely with older adults, I can assure you it's not just true, it's more common than most people realize. So here's a little challenge for you. Can you guess the number one most harmful fruit for people over 60? Spoiler alert, it might already be in your kitchen. In today's video, we're diving into the 3 worst fruits that seniors should avoid at all costs, along with the 3 fruits you should be eating every single day to protect your heart, sharpen your memory, and improve digestion. But before we get into the details, do me a quick favor. Hit that like button, share this video with someone you love, and subscribe to Senior Wisdom Life so we can continue sharing honest, science-backed health tips that truly make a difference. Because here's the real truth. The fruit you think is helping you live longer might actually be accelerating aging and making you feel worse. Let's take a closer look, starting with one fruit that's as sugary as soda and far more common in senior diets than you might expect. Let's find out together. Grapes look innocent, sweet, juicy, and bite-sized. For many seniors, they seem like a smart snack. But after 4 decades working with aging adults, I can tell you, grapes can quietly sabotage your health after 60. A single cup of grapes contains more than 23 grams of natural sugar, almost the same as a small can of soda. The problem? Grapes are nearly fiberless. Without fiber to slow digestion, that sugar hits your bloodstream fast, causing rapid spikes in blood glucose. For older adults whose insulin sensitivity has declined, this can lead to fatigue, brain fog, weight gain, and even type 2 diabetes. Harold, a 68-year-old retired pilot from Nevada, came into my clinic exhausted and mentally foggy. He was eating grapes daily, thinking they were healthy, but his A1C had crept into the prediabetic range. Once we removed grapes from his diet and replaced them with low-sugar fruits like blueberries, paired with protein or healthy fat, his energy came back, and his blood sugar stabilized within weeks. But sugar isn't the only concern. Grapes are consistently listed by the Environmental Working Group among the most pesticide-contaminated fruits in the US. Unless you're buying organic, you're likely consuming trace amounts of toxic chemicals. Seniors have slower liver and kidney detox systems, so these residues can accumulate, leading to inflammation, hormone imbalance, and even cognitive issues over time. Elaine, 72, a retired librarian, suffered from frequent headaches and joint stiffness. She ate grapes daily. After switching to organic berries and cutting grapes, her symptoms began to fade. Many believe grapes are rich in antioxidants, especially resveratrol. While that's true, the dose needed for real health benefits is far higher than what you get from a handful of grapes. Meanwhile, you're still getting all the sugar and possibly chemicals. The timing of consumption also matters. Eating grapes on an empty stomach or before bed leads to sugar surges at the worst times. Nighttime spikes can disrupt sleep, impair liver function, and trigger morning fatigue. And because grapes are soft and sweet, they're easy to overeat. A few turn into a bowl, and suddenly you've eaten the sugar equivalent of a dessert without realizing it. Dr. Olivia Mayers, a neurologist at Johns Hopkins, warns that quick sugar absorption from fruits like grapes can worsen memory loss and accelerate neuroinflammation in seniors. It's not fear-mongering, it's about awareness. What worked for your body at 30 doesn't always work at 65 or 75. Your metabolism changes, your needs change, and even natural foods must be reconsidered. That doesn't mean you can't eat grapes ever again, but be intentional. Stick to 5-7 grapes in one sitting, eat them with nuts or cheese, and always choose organic if possible. Better yet, swap them for brain-friendly fruits like blueberries, which offer antioxidants with less sugar and more fiber. Think about it. Have you ever eaten grapes mindlessly while watching TV, believing they were a healthy alternative to cookies? Have you experienced energy crashes or sleep disruption without realizing the real cause was your evening fruit bowl? In the next part of this series, we'll take an even closer look at dried fruits, another healthy snack that may be far worse than grapes. With higher sugar density, preservatives, and zero hydration, dried fruit can overload your system quickly. Before moving on, ask yourself, are my healthy snacks really helping me age better? Or are they quietly pushing me in the wrong direction? Stay with me, we're just getting started. Dried fruit seems like a convenient snack. It's marketed as natural, fat-free, and rich in fiber, but for seniors, it's often a hidden trap. When you remove water from fruit, all the sugar is left behind, concentrated into a sticky, chewy form that's far easier to overeat. A quarter cup of raisins, just a small handful, contains more than 25 grams of sugar, about the same as a candy bar. Think about that for a second. Would you ever eat a candy bar and call it healthy? I remember Frank, 70, a retired construction supervisor from Illinois. He kept a bag of dried apricots in his glove compartment and popped them throughout the day. "They're just fruit, Doc. Better than cookies, right?" he'd ask me. But his blood sugar was constantly spiking. His blood pressure was elevated, and he started gaining weight around his waist despite daily walks. It wasn't until we removed the dried fruit from his routine that his labs began to stabilize. Many seniors don't realize that the compact nature of dried fruit makes it dangerously easy to overconsume. When was the last time you ate 4 fresh apricots in one sitting? Probably never, but with dried apricots. It's common to eat 6 or 8 without even noticing, and that's double or triple the sugar. Worse, many dried fruits are treated with sulfites, chemical preservatives used to keep the fruit looking fresh and colorful. For younger people, these chemicals are typically processed by the liver without major issues, but in older adults, the detox systems slow down. The result: headaches, joint pain, allergic reactions, asthma attacks, and even GI disturbances. A 2021 study from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that sulfite sensitivity in adults over 65 is significantly higher than in younger age groups, especially among those with asthma or inflammatory conditions. Mildred, 75, from Arizona, had persistent bloating and occasional hives. She thought it was just old age. Turns out she had a sulfite sensitivity made worse by her daily habit of eating dried mango slices. Once she cut them out, the symptoms vanished within days. Dr. Alina Green, a senior dietitian in Colorado, said it best: dried fruit is nature's sugar bomb in disguise. It's not inherently evil, but it's wildly inappropriate for the average senior who already battles inflammation and metabolic slowdown. Another key issue is satiety, or rather, the lack of it. Dried fruit doesn't fill you up. There's no water, little fiber, and the chewing effort is minimal. The reward: a quick sugar hit with minimal satisfaction, leading to overeating and repeated spikes in insulin. Now, let me ask you this. Do you keep a trail mix with raisins in your purse or the car? Do you think of it as a healthy on-the-go snack? Have you noticed feeling bloated, fatigued, or even mentally foggy after eating them? Could those innocent-looking pieces of dried pineapple or banana chips be the source? And we haven't even touched on the glycemic index. Raisins, dates, and figs have sky-high GI values. A quarter cup of dates can raise your blood sugar just as rapidly as white bread or candy. For someone managing diabetes or prediabetes, these snacks are a minefield. Even for seniors without diagnosed metabolic disorders, these repeated glucose surges take a toll, wearing down the pancreas, promoting belly fat, and setting the stage for cognitive decline. For those still clinging to the idea that dried fruits are a guilt-free option, consider this. You'd need to walk nearly 40 minutes just to burn off the calories from a small bag of dried banana chips, and that's assuming your metabolism is still functioning like a 30-year-old's, which it isn't. That said, moderation matters. I'm not saying never touch dried fruit again, but if you do, limit yourself to 1-2 pieces, pair it with protein or healthy fat, and only consume it as part of a larger meal, not as a snack. And always read the label. If it contains potassium metabisulfite or sulfur dioxide, put it back on the shelf. The bottom line, dried fruits are not the innocent little bites the packaging makes them out to be. For seniors, they can mean sugar overload, hidden chemicals, and silent metabolic damage. It's not about fear, it's about being aware and making informed choices that align with your body's changing needs. And if dried fruits are this risky, what about fruit juice? A drink many seniors still believe is the healthiest way to start their day. The truth might surprise you. In the next section, we'll break down why that glass of 100% juice could be doing more harm than good, and what you should be drinking instead. Let's continue. Fruit juice has long been seen as a symbol of health, especially orange juice. Many older adults grew up believing that a glass of juice in the morning was the best way to start your day right. But that belief, though comforting, can be dangerously outdated. Juice, even when labeled 100% pure, is not the same as eating whole fruit. When the pulp and fiber are stripped away, you're left with a concentrated dose of sugar in liquid form and little else. An 8-ounce glass of orange juice contains about 26 grams of sugar. That's nearly identical to a 12-ounce can of cola. Yet many seniors drink this daily without question, believing it supports their heart or immune system. But the lack of fiber means the sugar is absorbed rapidly, causing a sharp spike in blood glucose levels. And as we age, our body's ability to handle those spikes becomes increasingly impaired. I remember Donald, 73, a retired mechanic from Ohio. Every morning for years, he drank a glass of heart-healthy pomegranate juice. He believed it was protecting his arteries. But he kept gaining belly fat, and his doctor warned of early signs of non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. When we dug into his routine, the juice was the first red flag. After switching to water and fiber-rich whole fruit, his liver enzymes improved, his energy increased, and he no longer had those mid-morning crashes he used to chalk up to aging. The problem with juice isn't just the sugar, it's how your body responds to it. Without fiber, juice passes through the stomach quickly, floods the bloodstream with glucose, and triggers a strong insulin response. For someone in their 60s or 70s, that kind of metabolic stress adds up. Over time, it contributes to weight gain, insulin resistance, and inflammation. Even more concerning, frequent juice consumption has been linked to fatty liver and cognitive decline. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that adults over 65 who consumed fruit juice daily were more likely to have elevated liver fat and performed worse on memory tests compared to those who limited juice intake. Dr. Alan Weiss, a geriatrician in Florida, puts it plainly: drinking juice is like giving your body a sugar bomb without warning. It bypasses natural checkpoints like chewing and digestion, and the older brain can't buffer those sugar surges as well as it used to. And unlike whole fruit, juice doesn't satisfy hunger. It slips down easily, offers no satiety, and can leave you hungrier an hour later. That leads to overeating and, in many cases, repeated spikes in blood sugar that wear down the pancreas and brain alike. Let me ask you this: do you drink juice in the morning thinking it's good for your heart? Do you feel sluggish or hungry again by 10 a.m.? Have you noticed your waistline creeping up, even though you're eating right? You may be surprised how much of that comes from that one glass of liquid sugar you thought was helping you. There's also a psychological factor. Juice feels like health. It looks vibrant, comes in green bottles, and says antioxidants on the label. But when you look past the marketing, most juices, whether it's apple, grape, or even cold-pressed detox blends, are sugar delivery systems that burden aging systems. That doesn't mean you can never have juice again. But use it sparingly, almost like a treat, not a daily staple. If you love oranges, eat the whole fruit instead. You'll get the fiber, the chewing satisfaction, and a slower sugar release that your body can manage. And if you're concerned about hydration and vitamins, water with a squeeze of lemon or slices of cucumber is a much better alternative. Smoothies made with whole fruit, greens, and protein are also a smarter option, but only if you control the ingredients and skip the added sweeteners. Think about this the next time you reach for that glass of juice. Would you ever sit down and eat 4 oranges in one go? That's how many are squeezed into a single glass. Your body doesn't need that much sugar at once, especially not without fiber or fat to buffer the effect. If juice is sabotaging your mornings and slowly harming your liver or brain, what other healthy habits might be doing the same? In the next section, we'll look at the 3 fruits you should be eating every day after 60, fruits that support your memory, protect your heart, and nourish your body without the sugar crash. Let's keep going. Another key issue is satiety, or rather, the lack of it. Dried fruit doesn't fill you up. There's no water, little fiber, and the chewing effort is minimal. The reward, a quick sugar hit with minimal satisfaction, leading to overeating and repeated spikes in insulin. Now let me ask you this. Do you keep a trail mix with raisins in your purse or the car? Do you think of it as a healthy on-the-go snack? Have you noticed feeling bloated, fatigued, or even mentally foggy after eating them? Could those innocent-looking pieces of dried pineapple or banana chips be the source? And we haven't even touched on the glycemic index. Raisins, dates, and figs have sky-high GI values. A quarter cup of dates can raise your blood sugar just as rapidly as white bread or candy. For someone managing diabetes or prediabetes, these snacks are a minefield. Even for seniors without diagnosed metabolic disorders, these repeated glucose surges take a toll, wearing down the pancreas, promoting belly fat, and setting the stage for cognitive decline. For those still clinging to the idea that dried fruits are a guilt-free option, consider this. You need to walk nearly 40 minutes just to burn off the calories from a small bag of dried banana chips, and that's assuming your metabolism is still functioning like a 30-year-old's, which it isn't. That said, moderation matters. I'm not saying never touch dried fruit again, but if you do, limit yourself to 1-2 pieces, pair it with protein or healthy fat, and only consume it as part of a larger meal, not as a snack. And always read the label. If it contains potassium metabisulfite or sulfur dioxide, put it back on the shelf. The bottom line, dried fruits are not the innocent little bites the packaging makes them out to be. For seniors, they can mean sugar overload, hidden chemicals, and silent metabolic damage. It's not about fear, it's about being aware and making informed choices that align with your body's changing needs. And if dried fruits are this risky, what about fruit juice? A drink many seniors still believe is the healthiest way to start their day. The truth might surprise you. In the next section, we'll break down why that glass of 100% juice could be doing more harm than good, and what you should be drinking instead. Let's continue. Blueberries are small, but they carry a powerful punch, especially for the aging brain and heart. I've recommended them to hundreds of older patients over the years, and time and again, I've seen subtle but meaningful improvements in memory, focus, and energy. These little blueberries are packed with anthocyanins, deep-colored pigments that serve as some of nature's most potent antioxidants. And that's not just hype, it's backed by real science. A 2023 study published in Nutrients followed a group of older adults aged 65-80 who consumed just half a cup of blueberries per day for 6 months. The results were remarkable. Participants experienced a 26% improvement in short-term memory, faster cognitive processing, and reduced signs of brain aging on MRI scans. These aren't supplements or medications. That's real food doing real work. I remember Edna, 75, a retired school principal from Michigan. She came to me frustrated that she was forgetting small things, where she placed her keys, whether she took her morning medications. Nothing severe, but it bothered her. I encouraged her to make one small change, add blueberries to her breakfast every day. Within 3 months, she told me, it feels like the fog has lifted. Her mind was clearer, and her confidence returned. It's stories like that remind me how powerful the right foods can be. What makes blueberries special isn't just their antioxidant levels, it's how they protect and enhance communication between brain cells. According to Dr. Olivia Mayers, a neurologist at Johns Hopkins, anthocyanins found in blueberries reduce inflammation in the brain, improve neuronal signaling, and enhance neuroplasticity. For older adults, that could mean slowing or even reversing early memory decline. But blueberries don't just benefit the brain, they also support heart health. They help lower LDL cholesterol, improve blood vessel flexibility, and even reduce blood pressure. A meta-analysis from the Journal of Gerontology showed that daily blueberry consumption, led to an average 5 mmHg drop in systolic blood pressure in adults over 65. That kind of shift can reduce stroke risk by up to 14%. They're also excellent for blood sugar control, a major concern for many seniors. Unlike grapes or bananas, blueberries have a relatively low glycemic index, meaning they don't cause blood sugar spikes. Plus, they contain both soluble fiber and polyphenols that improve insulin sensitivity and feed good gut bacteria, promoting better digestion and immune function. Let me ask you, have you noticed your memory slipping a bit? Have you felt more mentally tired than you used to? Do you worry about high blood pressure or borderline blood sugar readings? If so, what's stopping you from trying something as simple as adding blueberries to your morning oatmeal or yogurt? And here's the best part, they're incredibly easy to work into your diet. Fresh or frozen, they retain their nutritional value. Blend them into a smoothie, stir them into Greek yogurt, or just eat them by the handful. Unlike fruit juice or dried fruit, they won't overload your system with sugar or leave you crashing an hour later. For those on a budget, frozen blueberries are just as effective as fresh and often more affordable. Just make sure they're unsweetened and, if possible, organic. Conventional blueberries tend to be lower in pesticides than grapes or apples, but organic is always a safer choice if your detox systems are already compromised. And no, you don't need to eat a pound a day. A small half-cup serving is enough to deliver brain and heart benefits over time. Think of them not just as food, but as daily therapy in fruit form, with no side effects and no prescription required. Compare that to sugary snacks or even many healthy processed foods marketed to older adults. Blueberries won't just make you feel better today, they'll support long-term function and independence, which is what aging well is truly about. So the next time you're at the store, walk past the juice aisle and go straight to the berry section. These little fruits might just be your brain's best friend. And if blueberries are the fruit that sharpens your mind, then the next fruit, creamy, green, and often misunderstood, is the one that strengthens your heart and stabilizes your blood sugar. Let's talk about avocados next. Avocados are often misunderstood, especially among older adults who grew up believing that anything creamy or high in fat must be bad for the heart. But not all fats are created equal, and avocados are a shining example of how the right kind of fat can protect your heart and nourish your body as it ages. One of the most valuable things about avocados is that they're rich in monounsaturated fats, the same heart-healthy fats found in olive oil. These fats help lower LDL bad cholesterol, raise HDL good cholesterol, and support healthy blood pressure. For seniors, that matters more than ever. A 2022 study published in the Journal of the American Heart Association showed that people over 60 who regularly consumed avocados had a 21% lower risk of coronary heart disease compared to those who didn't. I had a patient named Robert, 73, a retired veteran from Texas. After a mild heart scare, he was told to cut back on red meat and fried foods. "Doc, I didn't know what to eat anymore," he said. Everything felt bland, so I suggested he try adding half an avocado to his meals. At first, he was skeptical. It seemed too indulgent. But after just a few weeks of mashing it onto toast in the morning or slicing it into salads, he began to notice real changes. Better digestion, less hunger between meals, and even improved mood. It didn't feel like a diet, he told me. It felt like I was finally giving my body something it wanted. Beyond healthy fats, avocados are packed with fiber, roughly 10 grams in a single fruit. That's more than most seniors get in an entire day. Fiber is critical for older adults, helping to prevent constipation, improve gut health, and slow the absorption of sugar, making it easier to manage blood glucose levels. For those dealing with prediabetes or type 2 diabetes, this kind of steady digestion is a game changer. Have you ever found yourself hungry again just an hour after eating? Do you feel like you're always snacking, even after a decent meal? These are signs that your meals may lack the fiber and healthy fats your body needs to feel truly satisfied. Avocados solve both problems at once. They're also incredibly rich in micronutrients that are often deficient in seniors. A single avocado provides. Potassium helps control blood pressure and prevent muscle cramps. Vitamin K, essential for bone strength and preventing fractures. Vitamin E, a powerful antioxidant that supports brain function. Folate, critical for cell repair and cognitive health. Dr. James Porter, a cardiologist at the Cleveland Clinic, puts it this way: avocados are a nutrient-dense food that checks all the boxes for seniors. They support heart function, brain clarity, digestion, and even bone health, all in one smooth, versatile package. Let me ask you this: have you been avoiding avocados because you assumed they were too fatty? Have you noticed bloating, irregular digestion, or blood sugar swings after meals? What if just half an avocado a day could help stabilize those issues? And don't let convenience be a barrier. Avocados require no cooking, no peeling beyond the skin, and can be eaten with just a spoon and a pinch of salt. They blend beautifully into smoothies, spread onto whole grain toast, or serve as a creamy base for dressings and dips. For seniors with dental issues or decreased appetite, they're easy to chew, easy to digest, and surprisingly satisfying. In a world full of processed senior nutrition shakes and bland low-fat options, avocados stand out as a whole, natural food that delivers on its promises. They don't just feed you, they fuel your resilience. And if avocados nourish the inside, the next fruit on our list works from the inside out, cleansing your gut, reducing cholesterol, and even supporting memory. Let's explore the humble but powerful apple next. Apples may seem ordinary, even boring, but for seniors, they're one of the most powerful fruits you can eat daily. Beneath their familiar skin lies a unique combination of fiber, antioxidants, and plant compounds that make them a silent powerhouse for aging bodies. What makes apples especially valuable is their high content of pectin, a type of soluble fiber that forms a gel-like substance in your gut. This gel binds to cholesterol and helps remove it from your body. For older adults dealing with elevated LDL levels, this can be a game changer. A long-term study from the European Journal of Nutrition found that people over 65 who consumed apples daily had lower total cholesterol and a reduced risk of cardiovascular disease by 18%. I had a patient named Frank, 78, a Korean War veteran from Oregon. He had been dealing with sluggish digestion, occasional bloating, and rising cholesterol. His daughter, a nurse, suggested he swap his afternoon pastry for a crisp Fuji apple. Within a few weeks, he noticed a major difference, not only in how light he felt after meals, but in his bathroom regularity and even his blood work. His doctor was stunned at how such a small daily change made such a noticeable impact. Apples are also rich in quercetin, a potent antioxidant known to protect brain cells from oxidative damage. For seniors concerned about memory, quercetin helps reduce neuroinflammation and improve blood flow to the brain. A 2020 study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition showed that older adults who regularly consumed flavonoid-rich fruits like apples had slower rates of cognitive decline and a lower risk of dementia. Dr. Susan Kaplan, an internal medicine specialist in New York, explains, "The pectin in apples acts like a sponge in your digestive system. It grabs toxins, cholesterol, and excess sugars, helping your body remove them gently, something the aging gut often struggles to do on its own." Have you ever dealt with constipation or irregular digestion as you've gotten older? Do you ever feel bloated after eating or worry about your cholesterol creeping up with age? What if one simple fruit could help restore balance without the need for expensive supplements or drastic diet changes? In addition to digestive and cognitive benefits, apples also support the immune system. They contain vitamin C, flavonoids, and prebiotic fibers that feed the beneficial bacteria in your gut, where more than 70% of your immune system resides. For seniors who often struggle with weaker immunity or chronic inflammation, this makes apples a simple yet effective daily defense. And they're incredibly accessible. Whether you prefer Granny Smith, Honeycrisp, or Gala, apples are available year-round, portable, affordable, and easy to digest. Just remember to eat the skin. That's where much of the fiber and antioxidants live. When possible, choose organic to minimize exposure to pesticide residues, as your body becomes less efficient at detoxifying with age. Let me ask you this, do you usually peel your apples out of habit? Do you eat them only occasionally, thinking they're too basic to matter? Could making them a part of your daily routine be the small change that improves your digestion, lowers your cholesterol, and keeps your mind sharp? Sometimes the most overlooked foods are the ones that offer the greatest benefit, especially when consumed consistently. An apple a day isn't just a saying. For older adults, it's a science-backed strategy for aging well. And while apples gently clean and protect your body, what happens when you combine the best brain fruit, heart-healthy fats, and fiber-rich staples like blueberries, avocado, and apples into one weekly rhythm? In the next part, we'll look at how to build a simple daily fruit ritual that supports energy, memory, and longevity, one bite at a time. Let's keep going. What if I told you that the secret to clearer thinking, better digestion, and a stronger heart isn't locked away in a prescription bottle, but sitting quietly in your kitchen? When you combine blueberries, avocados, and apples into a simple, consistent daily habit, something powerful happens. Your body begins to stabilize, your energy returns, your mind sharpens, and your aging process slows down in ways you can feel. Let's take a moment and think practically. What would it look like if every morning, instead of grabbing toast and jelly or pouring yourself a glass of orange juice, you started your day with a small bowl of oatmeal topped with blueberries and a few slices of apple? Or maybe you blend a smoothie with frozen blueberries, half an avocado, and a handful of spinach. Simple choices, easy to make, but incredibly impactful. I remember Irene, 70, a retired nurse from Massachusetts. She came to me saying, "Doctor, I feel like I've lost my spark. I'm tired all the time, my stomach's off, and my memory isn't what it used to be." We looked at her diet. It was full of processed carbs, sugary low-fat snacks, and not much fiber or healthy fat. I gave her one challenge: eat at least 2 of these 3 fruits, blueberries, avocado, or apple, every day and cut back on packaged snacks. 3 weeks later, she emailed me, "I don't know if it's magic or food, but I feel like myself again." That's the power of building a daily fruit ritual. You don't need exotic powders or expensive supplements. You need consistency, real food, and a little awareness. Let's break it down. In the morning, start with half an avocado on whole grain toast. Add a few blueberries on the side or stir them into Greek yogurt. Already you've got healthy fats, fiber, and brain-boosting antioxidants. Midday, snack on a crisp apple. It's portable, satisfying, and helps fight that sluggish post-lunch dip. Pair it with a few walnuts or a slice of cheese, and you've got a balanced snack that won't spike your blood sugar. Dinner, if you haven't had an avocado yet, slice them into your salad. Or blend a few blueberries into a vinaigrette dressing. These little touches don't take effort, but they add up in a big way over time, and the results aren't just subjective. Studies show that older adults who consume high antioxidant diets rich in polyphenols, monounsaturated fats, and soluble fiber, all found in our 3 fruits, TS experience. Improved blood sugar regulation by up to 30%, reduced LDL cholesterol by 10–15%, better cognitive scores on memory tests, improved gut microbiome diversity, which strengthens immunity and mood. Have you ever thought of food this way, not just as calories, but as instructions for your body? Every bite you take sends a message. Is that message helping your brain rebuild, helping your heart relax, helping your immune system fight inflammation? If not, what small changes could you make today? What could you swap, add, or replace? This isn't about perfection. It's about choosing better, one meal at a time. I often tell my older patients, you don't need to go on a diet. You need to build a rhythm, a routine that your body can count on, something sustainable. Something that feels good, and perhaps most importantly, something that tastes good too, because food isn't just medicine, it's a connection to yourself, your energy, your independence. And when it comes to aging well, it's not just about living longer. It's about living clearer, lighter, and more alive, starting with something as simple as what's on your plate. So tomorrow morning, when you reach for breakfast, ask yourself, what message am I sending my body today? Is this bite helping me feel the way I want to feel 10 years from now? If you're not sure, start with a blueberry. Add a slice of apple, scoop some avocado, and see what happens next. So now you know, not all fruits are created equal, especially after 60. Some can quietly spike your blood sugar, stress your liver, and cloud your memory, but others, they can sharpen your mind, support your heart, and help you feel more like yourself again. And the difference isn't complicated. It comes down to awareness, small swaps, and building smart habits, one bite at a time. You don't have to overhaul your entire diet overnight. You just need to make smarter, simpler choices, trade juice for whole fruit, skip the dried fruit, and reach for fresh. Choose blueberries, apples, and avocados to fuel your brain and body with what it needs. Let me ask you this: which of these fruits are already in your routine, and which one are you ready to let go of starting today? Share it with me in the comments. I'd love to hear what changes you're making, because when one person takes better care of their health, it inspires others to do the same. And if this video helped you learn something new, do us a favor. Like this video, subscribe to Senior Wisdom Life, and share it with a friend or family member who needs it. You never know, you might help change someone's life with just one click. Remember, aging is not about giving up. It's about getting smarter, stronger, and living with intention. And the right foods, they're one of your most powerful tools. Thanks for watching. Stay strong, stay wise, and I'll see you in the next video.